right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Beyond Charts Morning Brew. It is today. It is February 23rd, 8:30 in the morning, Pacific Eastern Standard Time. All right. So we're getting started for today. All right. So nothing really major happening today. It looks to me like we have a few as far as macro numbers coming out today. Pretty quiet on that front. I think the big things are going to come up tomorrow, as I mentioned yesterday, and Friday. So for today, it looks like as far as the U.S. response, I think that the risk of further escalation for today, it's minimum, at least from a military perspective. I think that, like I stated before, that Putin's in control for today, as far as like, what should we expect? All right, but let's dive into it. I want to talk about, as far as so I've been reading up on what to invest in if you will need to invest in something. As far as the futures are at 43.35. I wrote in my Patreon, so we hit that level. We hit it. The level overnight. So I think that we're going to be looking at 4,300. It's going to be the line in the sand. Let's see who's out there. Getting a little bit delayed. What's up? Good morning. Good morning, James. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Win. All right. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Patreon. We hit those levels to a T. So I've put out the levels for the E-minis and the SPY, just divided by 10. And then you'll have that. But we hit them to a T yesterday, and then I put on new levels just for today. But those levels for yesterday, for the beginning, those are for the week. All right, so let's dive in. Let's dive in. As far as defense stocks, I'm going to put this here. If you really need to invest in companies during times of war, here's a list of them. We're going to be looking at these, and I'll post these in the comments if you need that, and it'll be there for you to have. And you guys should have that. All right. As far as Barron's, again, stocks rebound, a lot of Ukraine stuff, inflation, 10-year high, Tesla. So just been doing a lot of deep dives on order flow. Macy's came out with good earnings. All right, but let's dive in to see where the opportunities are this week. All right, so as you can tell, E-minis right now. Let me make this bigger. So on the left, we have the E-minis. On the right, these are delayed. Okay, so 15-minute time frame, and left is the hourly time frame. So let's look here. So as I stated, these new boxes are today's levels. Again, I think it's going to be about 4,300. That's the level we're going to be watching. Again, we bounced off the level yesterday pretty successfully here. Of 42.71, 42.65, right in there, and we rallied pretty nicely. MACDs were showing you strength, came back to the 50. Now today, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of escalation or any news pending. So I think that between 43.50, again, there's a lot of resistance up there that we could hit. And then overall for the week, I think we're going to be in this range. So again, but for today is going to be between these two. And I think 4,300 is going to be a barometer. 50-day moving average is right there as well. We can always use that. We're seeing a little bit of weakness here. Let's see where we open up at the open. All right. So as far as the E-minis here, and that's 43.30 currently. Okay. As far as market environment, again, we're still, we have a lower high here than that low. We're still working our way lower. We bounced a little bit off that, again, 42.71. Again, what's going to happen today? Is there going to be a lot of follow through? Are there going to be day twos? Don't know. And today is Wednesday. So if we notice a pattern over the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks, remember, Monday, Tuesday, we go Monday, Tuesday, we go down. Wednesday, we plateau. And then, I'm thinking opposite of the VIX. So what happens? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we go up. And then Thursday, Friday, we go down, right? That's been kind of like the pattern. And the VIX, remember, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday goes down, which is bullish. And then Wednesday plateaus. Thursday, Friday, we go up. And that's been happening for the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks, as I demonstrated to you yesterday. So today is Wednesday. Is that going to happen this week? Well, we'll see. Right now, the MACD is showing a little bit of weakness. So if we consolidate here, that's why I don't think we're going to be super bullish here unless some good news comes out. But right now, again, we do have the Ukraine war. We have a lot of inflation and, again, money supply and gold and, a lot of moving parts that's happening across the world. So let's see what happens. But don't really expect a bullish market, but it definitely there was a lot of selling pressure over the weekend. Last week, Thursday, Friday, selling pressure over the weekend. Monday, we were closed, so we needed to absorb some of those sellers, like I stated yesterday, to go a little higher. So that's why we call that bottom of 42.71. And again, just stay frothy. If you're looking for a position, let it come back up, right? Because remember, we're still below the 50 on the dailies. And again, if I share this with you, look where we are, right? We're right there as far as crossing the 20-day and the 200-day. It's about to cross. We haven't crossed yet. So is it going to cross? That's a very, very pivotal point. Okay. But right now the market's trading sideways, right? So we're trading in between 4,200, somewhere in there, 4,200 and 4,500. I think that's where we're gonna be balancing at. So right around 40, let's say 4,500 to about 4,200. So about 300 points. Let's see what happens there. Nasdaq's working a little lower, and the Russell working away a little lower. So again, just basing patterns, and again, it's not going to drop all at once. As far as today on the XPX, I showed you the E-minis. We're working our way at 43.30 currently. So that puts us a little higher than where we opened. So that's going to put us right around the high, right around 43.40, right around there. All right. So again, we're having an inside day from yesterday, meaning we're inside the trading range. And I think that's probably what we're going to happen today. But again, watch certain key levels, watch the open. 12:30, I said, watch around that time. I'm noticing moves happening around 10:30. Again, just watch those, and they'll close. Okay, as far as today, because we're opening up at 1443.40, that puts us right around the 50-day moving average. So let's see what happens there. If we open right now, MACDs are a little bit stronger. So again, let's see if we can hold that 50-day. And can we rally a little bit higher? Don't know if that's possible, but again, I have it to about 43.50, so that puts it around 43.60. So that puts us on the highs of today. Okay, but if we do break out today, then we're probably going to go up to 43.93. That is a possibility. Okay, to the downside, if we start working our way lower, some bad news hits. Again, we can't control the news. We can't control the narrative of what's happening. I just stated that is a possibility. But if it does, something bad happens, then more likely we're probably going to head lower to about 42.67. Remember, that was the lows of yesterday. They came in and bought there. Very, very significant. We're still in a downward trend, guys. All right. So, and remember, if we break up today, remember that a lot of times the breakups, there's no follow through. And just notice that we're still in a downward trend. We will have up days, but just don't fall in love. Those should be like a day trade or 2 days trade. I wouldn't stay those in very long. Not until the whole market shifts. Okay, so right now, key levels to watch, 43.63. Again, let it set up. Let it come back to the 50. And that's going to be the highest probability trade. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. So again, let's just wait for those setups. The VIX is working its way lower. So this is, remember, Monday was closed. This is Tuesday. This is Wednesday. And then like I showed you, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The VIX does the opposite. So then this was Tuesday, right? So it looks like we're following the same pattern. Wednesday's today, but we're still on the higher range. So again, what news is going to come out for the VIX to calm down? There's no news. There's a lot of volatility during the war. There's a lot of volatility or potential war. Okay, so what's next? And that's what we're looking at here. So right there, key levels to watch today is 28.56. If we go higher than that, we're probably going to work up in this range of 29.76, and we're probably going to head lower. Good to have that level, but more than likely, I'm noticing that we're probably going to work our way lower, probably to this 26.36 on the VIX. And remember, this is the opposite. of the S&Px. So as far as the Treasury notes, 1.964. Okay, so someone asked me what's the significance of the Treasury note. This is a 10-year note, so the significance of this is pretty good. This is what they sell. What do you call it? Single family homes and mortgages on. So they sell this one at a premium, right? So they don't sell it. This is what they get. They get this one, and then they sell it for a premium. So the higher this goes, the more that mortgages become more expensive. They become super expensive. Then that's going to hurt the real estate market at some time and moment. So right now, not too bad. 1.96 is doable. They expect us to be at 2.5 by the end of the year, which is still pretty doable. And again, but if this starts climbing into the 3 to 4, the 5 to 7%, which is I think needs to be in this range to battle inflation. But again, I'm not Powell. But there's a lot of things that also will fall if that goes as high. So that's why I don't know if they're going to raise interest rates, or they might raise the interest rates a little bit, just enough like they did in 2018, and then they can lower them back again. So I think that's what the market is factoring in, but they're not really 100% sure. So for today, there's not a lot of macroeconomics that's going to signal any differences. But tomorrow there will be. Tomorrow there will be some macroeconomics, and I'll show you what those are. Let me see if I go to my Twitter. Twitter. Tomorrow they will be there. They will be right there. Okay, so tomorrow we have not tomorrow. Thursday we have GDP. So today's Wednesday. So yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. Okay, confused. GDP again, gross domestic product. Right now we're running about 110%. If that cools off, maybe. And then we have the PCE core deflator on Friday. That's going to be the most important one right there. But as far as today, I really don't see anything that's going to come out that's going to signal to the Fed. And then we have Fed Mester coming out, and she's pretty dovish, So again, nothing really I see on the horizon for today. So I think that's we're going to follow suit to what we stated. All right. As far as I didn't cover Bitcoin yesterday, I apologize for that. As far as Bitcoin, again, we thought that Bitcoin and Ethereum was going to break away from the NASDAQ and the XPX. Unfortunately, that's not true. As you can see, the XPX dropped, so does Bitcoin. So there is a correlation between those two. And again, if we zoom out from Bitcoin, we're in the lower range here. Again, there was an entry here. It broke to 50, but again, we broke down. Could we have a basing pattern here? Possibly. Let it base, don't chase. And again, it's still in this demand zone that we drew from a month ago, 2 months ago, I believe. So 4,600, and it's just trading lower. So let's see what happens. Again, this thing with Putin, it's pretty interesting when you start going into their the only thing that the U.S. is going to do is just provide sanctions, right? And if you start digging into the Ukraine and sanctions, and banking, Russia and China have been unloading their dollars for months now. So they've been going into the euro. They actually converted buying oils in euros, right? Selling oil in euros. So don't know if that's going to help anything, to be honest with you, sanctions. But again, just know that. And the Ukraine is actually rich with soil and a lot of supplies that can be very useful. That they don't really need the U.S. So just throwing that out there. Anyway, Bitcoin right there, just going sideways. The MACDs are showing a little bit of weakness, but we're seeing a little bit of a basing pattern here. Let's see what happens here. And again, we're just kind of consolidating. MicroStrategy not moving as it once was. Remember, I noticed this move, and MicroStrategy should have moved a little bit stronger, but didn't. So let's see how MicroStrategy moves. I think as long as Bitcoin picks a direction, then MicroStrategy will start moving along. Ethereum, same type of pattern. So we have that. As far as the opportunities today, again, during these times of uncertainty, we want to look at price action. Okay, so let's see if we got potential movers here. So what I'm going to be looking for here is, again, yesterday on Patreon, I said I was looking for 2550. We didn't get the 2550 on Google. We got 2565. I think there might be a play there, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But overall, we're noticing that price action is coming up to the 50-day on the XPX. MACDs are still rolling up. NASDAQ at the 50-day and the Russell at the 50-day. So we'll see what happens there. There might be a move earlier. I'm going to cover the SPY, QQQs, and IWM at the end. Maybe we can find those. As far as Google, remember, Google's having a 20-to-1 stock split. So let me zoom out here. And again, Google is, I don't have the 200-day moving average, do I? No, I don't. Let me add the 200-day real quick. Okay. Unfortunately, he's going to. Okay, we're going to convert that to 200-day. No, I can't do it. All right, let's see. Alrighty. Okay, let's do that one. And we're just going to convert this to 200 days just so we can see. So this is the daily part on Google. As you clearly can see, we are trading right below the 200-day moving average. And if we zoom out, Google doesn't really stay very long on the 200-day moving average. I mean, by a little bit below 2018. This is when they raise interest rates again. So remember, they have a 20-to-1 stock split. So I think we're going to be looking around that 2,500 as a possible way maybe for a longer term entry for that 20-to-1 stock split. Because in stock split theory, this should run into the split. But again, we have to buy time. So again, let it do its thing right now. Let it come down. But potentially right around this area, I would be looking to maybe buying 6 months out on a call option or something, because it could probably run into the split date. All right. So as far as the hourlies here, Google is running today. It's not running, but going up to the 50-day moving average on the hourly, 26.53. Can probably hit up there, maybe 26.43. Might be meet up there. On the 50-minute time frame, we're looking here, and Google, more than likely, it's bouncing off the 50-day. And again, probably going to go to that 26.43. If it breaks that, can maybe go to 26.80. Okay, so remember, these rallies don't last very long on Google. As you clearly can tell, they last maybe a day, and then they sell off. A day until it sells off. So remember, we're getting rallies, but they only last about a day. Right in this area, we last day at 1, 2, 3 days, right? So again, are we going to get those rallies? Don't know, but look for levels to the top, 26.44, 26.81 on Google. Now, if Google comes back down to the 50 or 2600, it's probably going to go down to 25.63. So again, sold off pretty hard. So I'm looking to see if Google can run. Amazon running a little bit pre-market. Let's see if it can hold. Again, 30.60 is a possibility if it runs, but it's coming to the end here. Google has a little bit more. Tesla going sideways a little bit. Again, watch Tesla 844. It's pulling back pre-market 828. Let's see what happens there. It can either go up to 844 or it's going to come back down to 800. Again, 800 is pretty powerful. ISRG tried to run yesterday, tried to run, but again, market wasn't bullish. It's not, things are not super bullish. So again, you got to trade them to the level 287 on top. 289. It looks like it's probably kind of going sideways around 282. If it breaks down, it's going to go to 274. CMG, very, very weak still. It's just taking it down. Had a rally into earnings, but again, this one moves nicely. Let it set up properly at 1500. It can probably go to 1530, 1548 once we hit to 1500, or it can come back down to 1454. As far as opportunities here, let me just glance real quick. If you want me to cover a ticker, just let me know, and I will cover that for you. But let's take a look here. All right, Goldman Sachs higher. NVIDIA 238. If NVIDIA can take out 240, maybe it can run. Run up to maybe 250. So not a lot of movers here. Mercado Libre, great earnings. All right, they had earnings yesterday, rallied up nicely as a 982. Let's see if this thing could run today. We'll let it pull back to 928, and if it can run, that's a signal that maybe they're bullish back on Mercado Libre. This one sold off pretty hard. So Apple needs to reclaim 170. So watch for Apple reclaim 170. Let's see what happens there. Shopify just getting hammered. Again, we're noticing a big movement on Shopify. Don't know which way it's going to go yet, but we have all the moving averages consolidating here, and let's see what happens. So big moves coming on Shopify. Watch it at 645 or 635. Can probably go down to 624, or can probably go up to about 662. But it's having an inside day so far pre-market. It's going to move. It's going to move pretty big. Shopify. Roku. I skipped a little bit. Roku, again, like I said, yes, it's going to rally after selling off. And let's see what happens there. Big move happening. Is it going to go back higher or is it going to go lower? Remember, these guys missed earnings. Huge sell-off. Needed to be absorbed. So there's a lot of buying, obviously, that occurred. Is the next shoe going to drop? So again, watch it. Can probably go down to 102, currently 103, 123. If they continue going higher, 128 is a possibility, but I don't think that's going to last. Okay, so watch that one. What else do we have? Lamb Research, not there yet, almost. A lot of selling. So I'm not really super excited about anything right now. I just want to see if they start buying things. Right now, they're still not buying things. Zoom, again, sold off. And we need to absorb a lot of this selling that's occurring. So again, watch a pre-market. It's probably going to move big. 129 to get it better. Come back to 130. Not much of a mover there. 132. Not much of a mover there. Bookings, working its way lower. ServiceNow, maybe ServiceNow, 562. Coinbase. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see a lot of movers. I know DWC did move yesterday. MicroStrategy might be moving. We want the chips to move here. Chips are not moving. All right, so let's see. Let's look at DWAC because somebody wanted to talk about DWAC yesterday. So DWAC, again, rallied. And again, it was a sell to news. They sold off yesterday. So again, just consolidating. As I stated yesterday, we're seeing a little bit of weakness on the daily here. On the hourlies, let's see. It just kind of consolidated. A lot of selling, a lot of supply right around that 95, 96 area. Obviously, they sold it off tremendously. So watch 95 for it to get better, but it's working lower, and for DWAC. Let's look at spiders, because see if I can set up a trade for you guys here. So spiders, right now we have strength working its way higher on the hourlies. Probably going to try to go up to that 435, 437. On the 15-minute time frame, looks like we broke through, coming to the end here. Maybe a pullback is imminent, and see how it reacts around that 431, 432. And can it work a little bit higher? If we work higher, watch it. You got 435 on top. Okay, and let's see what happens there. Don't expect a big move. Now, if it fails there, it's probably going to come back to that 431, and then if it retests, it can probably go to 425, which was a low yesterday, right? Yes, there was no orders. There was nothing sold below 425 on SPY. So again, looks like we'll probably have an inside day. QQQs. Again, we're at the hourly on the 15-minute time frame. On the hourly, you're on the 50-day moving average. We're right there. Let's see what happens. Still working its way higher. Can go a little higher. It might be setting up for something there. 15-minute time frame looking a little bit weaker. Let's see how it reacts. So we got them both where we want them. Let's see how it reacts right now. That might be a place that we're going to be looking for. Watch it at 340. 343 is being rejected pre-market. Let's see what happens there. But it's looking pretty good right now. Okay, as far as for a potential setup. IWM. We have IWM working his way higher in the hourlies. Came back to the 50-day moving average. Would like this to come up a little bit more. Maybe retest that 200. And let's see how it reacts here. But we might have something. Is this going to break down or break up? Don't really expect a big move in anything today. So let's see. Let's see. Futures look strong right now. Cool. All right. Let's look at SOB. These are the defense stocks that we talked about. Again, SOB, not really a move. Let's see, NOC. Maybe, again, maybe. We'll see. Yeah. So for today, yeah, we're not really seeing anything that I'm like in love with. As far as maybe QQQs, I think if I had to like put something on my list, it'll probably be the QQQs. Let me put up Google because that will move sometimes if I see it from a different perspective. It's rallying pre-market, too far away from the 50. There's some buyers coming in here. If this can hold, let's see. Let's see if Google if Google starts breaking up, then the market might have a push. But they need to show me that they start buying, right? Because if we're looking at it from this point of view, again, ISRG looks positive, Tesla looks positive, trading above the 50. So is Google, so is Amazon. So these are the two that I think are going to lead the markets. CMG not there yet. Again, just Goldman Sachs working his way higher. Okay, so Goldman might be moving, so that's positive. Can Goldman break 350? Let's see. And again, Mercado Libre. Let's watch Melly. Melly might be one. Let's look at Melly. Good earnings, right? So Melly at the 50 days, probably around 1,000, which is a big round number. Let's see if it can pull back and if they feel positive about it, and maybe it could run. Let's see it pull back a little bit and see what happens there on Melly. Pretty uneventful day at this moment, that I'm noticing. But again, watch it at 8:30 and watch it at 10:30. 10:30 yesterday was a pretty. I want to share this with you guys. At 10:30, I believe, is when right here, right at that 10:15, 10:30, the market had a reaction, sold off, and then we reversed right around that 2 o'clock hour. 2 o'clock, 2:15 is when we reversed here. So again, just noticing the patterns here, and that's another algo I've noticed around that 10:30. Doesn't happen very often, but there is a 10:30 algo, 10:30, 2 o'clock. So again, those are the correlation between those two. And then there's a 9:30 and a 12:45 and a 2:45. All right. All right, guys, not really anything here as far as the levels that we're looking at. Like I said, don't really think a big significant day. I think we're going to stay between 43.50 and 42.72. I think that's going to be the range for today, but don't really see a lot of events happening today. All right, guys. I wish I had more for you, but unfortunately, let's not force trades. Remember, just trade the setup that you see. Ideally, what we like to see is maybe the QQQs. Let me look at it. All right, QQQs trying to go positive here. Let's see. Trying to go positive here. Let's see what happens. So if Google and Amazon start ripping, then maybe the Qs can maybe give me a little bounce here, start bouncing higher. But remember, 343 is pretty hard on the Qs. So watch 343. That's going to be pretty hard. But it looks like it still has a little bit more room to go. 15-minute time frame. Let's see what happens there. All right, guys, that's all we got. Stay tuned, and let's get ready. So I'll be looking for the QQQs. So I'm gonna set those up. Maybe look at maybe start looking at 344, 347 calls, 345, 347, 348, 350 calls. On the downside, maybe I'll be looking at the 340 puts, 338. 336, 335 puts, maybe. Just keep those up on your list, and we'll see how those work out. On SPYs, let's look at SPY. Okay, let me see what did I have here. I have 432 and 435. So 432, 435, that's the levels I have on the E-minis. So maybe have the 435s, 434 calls, maybe there. And then on the bottom side, we have 427 or 426, maybe 428, somewhere there. Look at those puts. And let's see. We should hit. It's probably going to come back. Let's see if it comes back to the 50 at 431. That's ideal, and we'll set those up for SPY if we have an inside day. All right, guys, take care. That's all we got. That's what I'll be looking at for today. And yes, I wish it was a little bit more exciting, but not much excitement right now. All right, go out there, go get it. If you haven't subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, take care. God bless.